Hello and welcome to the Warhammer Meta Chasers. This is your weekly live tournament rundown show covering the biggest and best Warhammer 40,000 events happening all over the world. Happy New Year, everybody. My name is Paul Murphy. I'm joined by Dustin Henshaw.
Hello, everyone. Happy New Year.
And Adam Camilleri.
Oh, g'day, everybody. Sorry, my green screen's bouncing around. I got the green sun glowing up in this angle.
Look, it looks very Necronish.
Yeah, it's a Catan. They finally found out where I am.
You are in trouble. Speaking of the trouble, people are going to have to be adjusting to some things soon, but that is the future, where you're technically in the future. But we're going to talk about the now. I hope everyone is doing all right. Like I mentioned, this is a live show. Hope everybody is doing all right. Erwin, good to see you in the chat. Michael, Smurfette, what's going on, everybody? This is our first episode of 2026, and it's just the herald of some amazing things to come. We have some business to take care of this episode, but that comes later. What we're going to talk about now is three amazing events happening all over the world. Like I mentioned, we've got the Nottingham Super Major, Las Vegas Teams, and the Nations Cup. How's it going, gentlemen?
Yes. Wow, the game just went from dormant for the last 2 to 3 weeks to full-blown insanity. There is 600 or 700 plus player events happening all over the world. Dustin's headed to one this weekend himself. We got a 150 player national team event over at the Alpine Cup in Leoben. We have 350 plus players over in Nottingham. We have a couple of hundred, we have 500 to 600 playing in the United States this year.
There's an 8-player team happening in Chattanooga. I mean, it's all over the place. You're right. When you're not kidding, it has woken up. We are alive again.
The Catans that are coming for me and for the meta.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's go ahead and jump right into it because we got a lot of stuff to cover here. The Nottingham Super Major, as you can guess, from Nottingham, England, 355 players competing over 7 rounds. What are we going to see there?
In the Imperial Super Faction, there are 2 Imperial Agents, 6 Sisters of Battle, 15 Custodes, 2 Admech, 18 Astra Militarum, 6 Grey Knights, and 7 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, 32 Adepts Astartes, 17 Dark Angels, 16 Space Wolves, 25 Blood Angels, 7 Templar, or Black Templar, I guess specifically, 8 Death Watch, Chaos, there's 8 Chaos Space Marines, 10 T-Suns, 15 Death Guard, 15 World Leaders, 17 Emperor's Children, 21 Demons, interesting spike there, 9 Chaos Knights, Xenos, there's 14 Necrons, 15 Orcs, 9 Tau, 8 Votan, Hive Mind, there's 15 Tyranids, and 8 Genestealer Call. Wow, they're all here. Eldari, there's 11 Drukhari, and then 19 Eldari. Meaning the faction podium is Adeptus Astartes topping it off with 32. Blood Angels right behind them with 25. Demons on third with 21. Eldari then with 19. And then Astra Militarum with 18. It's not too surprising a spread. The Astra Militarum taking a spike here because of that new attachment doesn't surprise me at all. That attachment is fire.
Absolutely is. Demons as well, the reinvigoration of, and there's a couple of factors here to unpack because we have had a kind of restructuring of the UKTC terrain formats that have, so it used to be that there was the more aggressive armies did a little better on WTC. The aggressive melee armies did a little better on WTC. G-Dub was kind of in between, a little bit better for shooting than melee, but a little bit more in between. And then UKTC was better for shooting overall. Hands down, if you had to pick one, shooting was better on UKTC than WTC or G-Dub. Now UKTC is kind of in between Games Workshop layouts and WTC. It's much more of a friendly staging area, and you have a lot more cover and a lot fewer lines of fire. And I think people have identified that as being quite good for Scintillating Legion, and they are here in absolute strength. These new terrain formats, I believe, is leaning a lot of credence to getting those big birds on the table. And definitely the English and UK meta is telling us that is maybe correct. I was surprised to see Eldari still in such strong numbers, but it turns out a month off over December was enough for people to brew up what they wanted to take, and Eldari still have strong numbers. We knew they were going to have to go back to the drawing board and have to reinvent the wheel and, maybe brew a little bit on some stuff.
It's a deep codex. I mean, it really is. All the units are great. Granted, where people were taking some things that were very good and very efficient, but there are other things in that book that are still good, fit for purpose.
Honestly, in the hands of a competent player, for 2 competent players, Oath of Moment is likely to be the best army rule in the game. In the hands of an expert player, I think Battle Focus and the Eldari army rule might be better. If you are proficient and an expert at Eldari, that is like 6 of the best stratagems in the game that you just get to windmill slam every turn for no CP expenditure.
It's even, and I'm gonna go a little bit further beyond that. Just hopefully to add, it's that you can have, it's playing that perfect game with Eldari in round 7, the same way you would do it in round 1. And that's a different caliber, I think, of like if you want to extend your game, that's something to focus on. Like how do you make the last mile like the first?
And the only reason we're talking about that is because that's one of the reasons that we don't think Eldari will ever truly bottom out. They just start at if you are good at playing at Eldari, you kind of just start at a very strong place, and then build your list from there. I have done the Eldari detachment breakdown because, of course, I was really curious to see, what people were taking, but we'll get to that momentarily. Anything else here jumping out at you guys numbers-wise? I'm a really big fan of the Emperor's Children numbers. If there was a 6th spot on our faction podium, it was Emperor's Children at 17 players.
There's a lot of Tyranids too. 15 Tyranids is nothing to snuff at with the numbers that we have here. Like that's actually a really big representation. There's nothing really that changed with them either.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is kind of surprising.
Of course, we have to draw attention to the Astartes super faction, where we have
25 Blood Angels is what I'm going to say.
Of course, correct. Of course, I was waiting for you to say.
25 Blood Angels, 32 Adeptus Astartes. This is also showing once again the change in the terrain layout being a little bit better for the aggressive styles of play. Emperor's Children, strong numbers. Blood Angels, very strong numbers. Of course, Ultramarines Victrix Guard kind of walks the line between, it can be built to have the extra unit of Victrix, and then you lose out on a piece or a piece and a half of quality shooting, or the other way around, where you have 1 to 2 Victrix Guard units and still have your full suite of DACA. The way people decided to go with it, we'll just wait to see the results, because I'm sure Victrix are going to do really well here. But not 10% Adeptus Astartes, just shy of 10% vanilla Astartes, which many people will be happy about. But when there's 355 players, still having 32, I did want to go through and make you guys guess how many Victrix Guard there were at this event, but I couldn't do it to myself. I valued my time a little.
That's because you got tired of counting. But I will say though that once there is a list that people will take, like if it exists, then you can more plan into it, and that probably kept them out of the 10% slot, because somebody said, if you can't, I'm not going to join them, I'm going to beat them, and that's a couple more armies.
There was a beautiful kind of swirling melee that was going to occur like a tornado around the Eye of the Storm being Victrix Guard. As in, do you play Victrix Guard? Do you play what beats Victrix Guard, or do you play what beats Victrix Guard? And I had people legitimately telling me that their faction could not actually, statistically, have a better than a coin flip chance versus Victrix. So they were going to tool to clown on things that beat Victrix, which I thought was really wild. They went that deep into the tank, writing a list of things that they think are good into Victrix, and then writing something that's good into that, because they couldn't beat the Eye of the Storm. So they wrote what is swirling around it and to beat, which I thought was very interesting.
I can tell you what a lot of the people at the tournament I'm going to this weekend seem to be leaning into. I have 6 Tyranids at this event. Guess how many Norns there are at this event? Take a guess.
12.
9 out of 6, but one of them has 5.
Yeah, I was going to say 16 is what I was thinking.
Is it you?
He is a hero. He is a hero. Two assimilators and 3 emissaries.
How do you feel being the second coolest Hive Mind player at the event, Dustin?
How
does that
being second coolest to that? That's a good feeling, man. He deserves that. He absolutely deserves that.
All right, let's transition over to the Eldari detachment breakdown. We have 19 players in attendance wielding the pointy-eared. What are you saying, Paul?
No, that opened up. I mean, it was 3 detachments before. Now this is I don't know. How about
as you can
get
see,
a Wind Rider? Maybe.
As you can see, the title, let them cook. So of the 19 in attendance, 7 of which are aspect hosts. If they're just not quite sure if anything is better than this, so I'm just gonna keep going. Not broke, don't fixed it. 4 Seer Councils, 2 Serpent's Brood being the Harlequin's attachments, 2 War Hosts, and then singles for Guardian Battle Host, Devoted Diviniad, Wind Rider Host, and Spirit Conclave. And I gotta ask you, what detachments do they have that aren't represented here?
Do they have more than that?
They have some bad ones. They have some the vehicle based one that came out in Grotmas.
Oh,
which is
right.
Cool. It's up there with some of the worst attachments in the game. But this is just showing you knock a little bit off the top, and people will brew. They will experiment and try to see what sticks to the wall. The Seer Council one is something I'm actually quite high on. I actually quite like the Seer Council. It runs. I didn't have time to break down and look at those lists because I wanted to see if they were trying to make the Death Star, the Guardian Battle Host was trying to wield a little Death Star that they can make. We have a max unit of Guardians plus a bunch of attached characters, the Farseer and the Warlocks and stuff like that. And you start bouncing it around, doing way more damage than you think it should, and it can start to do some very spicy things. But yeah, didn't quite have time to do that, so I'm curious to see how they do. Anything here jumping out to you, boys?
I think you already called it out with the Seer Council one, because I've always really liked that Seer Council attachment, even before all the other stuff got nerfed repeatedly. But not enough. I actually think it has some of the best plays that they have with her. It's not as much as kill pressure, but it's the tricks that Eldar need to win games.
Yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't more Wind Rider host, same as Erwin. When all the changes happened, I was thinking Seer Council and Wind Rider host would be the stock in trades. The only one I thought might take over was Serpent's Brood, but that just depended if Eldari players... Because not every, it's weird, yeah? Because like every Tyranny player is a Gene Stealer Cult player as far as I'm concerned, but not every Eldari player is a Drakari or a Harlequins player necessarily.
True.
And so it's actually interesting that we have some of those super factions where people play everything. CSM players, as far as I can tell, play most of the sub-factions of Heretic Astartes. Like scratch the surface of a CSM player it's dusty underneath.
It used to be a lot more common to take all the cult troops in a chaos army, so you'd have one or two units. Like, well, I already have one. I have 10 Roll Eaters. How about 50 more? It's a quick jump.
Yeah. The other thing that it might be is that we have a bunch of people who might not have 2,000 points of Harlequins in order to rock that one out, and with it being perceived as not too dissimilar in some facets to other archetypes, they're not willing to run out and buy another 2,000 points of Eldari in order to play that. Rather, they can just stay on Aspect Host or some other variants and get half of the way there. But Serpent's Brood is very good, and I encourage Eldari players to give it a go because it is pretty strong. All right, I've got one list to break down from one of the top players in attendance, and there are many top players in attendance. I could have picked from about 20 players for this one, but I found something spicy, and it's not a army that has been looked at super heavily recently. Death Guard. This is Nathan Roberts, one of the better players in England. He's playing a Virulent Vectorum of Death Guard, and you will see some interesting things. Starts off with a Demon Prince with Revolting Regeneration. As you know, if you're taking Vectorum, this guy's in there. But then just a Lord of Virulence and a Tallyman, so no Lords of Contagion. 10 Blight Lord Terminators, in addition to 3 units of 2 Spawn. Paul will be happy. 3 Blow Drones with the Spitters, 3 Blow Drones with the Blight Launchers, 3 single Mephitic Blight Haulers, and 10 Poxwalkers. So he's got 9 little Buzzbox, frustrating to kill tank pieces that are all like, sweet, you got a unit of Eradicators, massive overkill for this unit. If you just have a scattering of like las cannons, kind of annoying to kill. And then 10 Blight Lords to just chunk it all together and make it go. This is pretty cool.
It's like, where did all the melta guns go? They're only in one place now. They're one army. You just got to dodge one army, and it's probably off the races again.
I wonder if Nathan has done the math perfectly, and 10 Blight Lords with the Lord of Virulence with the real wounds just kind of dome Victrix is what I want to know. Because they shoot pretty hard and with a lot of rerolls, and you can shoot out a flooded bloat drone to ignore the AOC essentially on the unit because you give them another minus to the AP, and so you can kind of just make them take a million saves, and maybe they just do enough, and then it's not like it's a unit that like a half a unit of Victrix can surge into and think they're going to win the combat against. If they get fully junked by all 10 Blight Lords, it might only be like 2 or 3 left, and then you're like, sure, surge to your death, go for it.
Yeah, I don't think they care about it at all. Like, come closer. Like, that makes it one. You've helped us with our slow movement by coming closer.
In addition, this is a great army for pulling apart surge moves, in the fact that you have like these 9, 10, 11, 12, if you count the spawn units, that can be the closest thing that make you surge into them. And surge away from the pile, surge away from the objectives, do all these little annoying bits and pieces. And it's not like these things don't do damage. The Spitters, might not be great into the meta at the moment, but they're nice little activators, a good little Overwatch piece, especially against stuff like Guard, which are going to be out there, and the Demon matchup, which is going to be here as well. And then the Blight Launchers, it's just one of the best shooting profiles in the game for a single gunshot. And then I got to tell you the amount of times I've lost like a Little Knight, like a full health like Armiger to 1 Blight Hauler. And I'm like, Why? Why, mate? Why be like this? It's really annoying little bastards they are. But I love this list. I think this is a cool tech list. I love the inclusion of the spawn. The spawn, I think, is the key to this because they give you the. Sorry, Paul.
No, I think a lot of Death Guard players may have this already. Like these are, have been units that have kind of gone up and down through popularity. This would be something that, if it works, easy to get on the table.
100%. And yeah, I think the spawn are the key to this because the spawn give you the durability baseline. There's nothing here that is easy to kill. The 10 Poxwalkers is an easy thing to kill. Once you kill the Poxwalkers, what are your bolt guns and lasguns actually doing this game? Essentially nothing. You don't have any targets for those guns. You've taken them out of the game. And those spawn just kind of do your utility bits and pieces while still kind of being really annoying to get rid of. So I like to spawn in this a lot. The 3 units I think are fantastic. And yeah, I think this is going to do really well for Nathan.
Nice.
I like it.
Time to pick some winners, gents. First picks of the new year.
This is a tough one.
Yeah. Essentially, do we want to vect ourselves from picking Astartes? Because I got to tell you, after looking at the top of the meta and the players in attendance, probably like 8 of the best 15, 8 of the best 20 players in attendance are taking massed Ultramarines, and one of those guys is almost definitely going to win because they just dodge their like counters at the right times or whatever. So let's not pick Astartes for this one.
Sounds good.
That's fair.
Of course, we know the meta has just changed as well around them. So picking them at this last juncture feels a little rough. All right, camera's going down. Here's the roll. Who wants to
you're trying to finally bringing some integrity to to this whole process.
No integrity. What I don't know. It's got a couple of M's on it. I don't know if that's good or bad, but none of you have M. So Paul Murphy.
I know. Pick the M.
You call it, brother. You picked just the M.
Yeah, just the M.
Just the M.
It's a 5.
That's basically the 5 of the M. That's Paul.
Yeah, that's good enough. Paul, you pick first.
All right, fair enough. Thank you for that generosity. It's a real pleasure to be here, and I appreciate this opportunity to pick,
Blood Angels.
I mean, got to go with Blood Angels.
Yeah.
First pick of the year, 25 in representation, new detachment. People loving those Death Company and everything they can do with them.
Fair call. Dusty boy, you want to go next?
You're right. First pick of the year. I'll go Tyranids.
Nice. All right, we're all just going to do our defaults.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, don't ask me to default to Imperial Knights in this meta.
Well, that was you said Imperial Knights was last year, so you could free yourself from that.
What do you
No. How many?
New year, new you.
I actually don't feel bad about picking Chaos Knights. Chaos Knights it is. All right.
Dark Angels are also on the stack. There were 17, 18 Dark Angel players?
There was 17. They would have been equal with Emperor's Children in 6th place on the podium. So they're not a bad pick. But I'll stick with my guns. I'm going to pick a Chaos Knight variant a Knight variant as my default for this calendar year also.
All right. Next event we're going to be talking about is the Nations Cup. This is in Leoben, Austria, with 128 players and 16 national teams of 8 competing over 5 rounds. What is it going to look like?
In the Imperial Super Faction, there are 7 Sisters of Battle, 6 Custodes, 4 Admech, 10 Astra Militarum, 2 Grey Knights, 1 Lone Imperial Knight. Space Marines, 10 Adeptus Astartes, 1 Dark Angel, 1 Space Wolf, and 3 Blood Angels. Chaos, there's 3 Chaos Space Marines, 5 T-Sun, 7 Death Guard, 8 World Leaders, 12 Emperor's Children, 8 Demons, and 6 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 5 Necrons, 7 Orcs, 7 Tau, 2 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 3 Tyranids and 2 Genius of the Cult. Eldari, there's 4 Drukhari and 4 Eldari. Being technically topping out the faction podium is a total of Astartes at 15, but really the winner is Emperor's Children at 12, and then regular Astartes and Astra Militarum at 10, then Demons and World Eaters at 8. What do you think of that breakdown for this? This is like a
Emperor's
big,
Children being in a multiple of 6 is also really great. Before we get into that, I also want to say welcome, Halo Bang Out. Says staying up for a live stream. It's 2:30 a.m. Welcome. I'm glad you catch us live.
Hey, that's a true fan right there. I love you.
Where are you in the world that's 2:30 a.m.? Are you in the UK? I'm assuming
that is somewhere along that.
Yeah, it's got to be in Europe.
Yeah,
first
that's Europe. Yeah.
All right, this is spicy. So this is national teams. So every team here is representing their nation at some level. So we have some absolute monster nations here. We have Germany, we have France, we have England, we have Slovenia, Slovakia, Czech Republic, bunch of other incredibles, Austria as well. This is going to Norway. This is going to be like super stacked, and a lot of teams are bringing their WTC prospects to this event. Like there's actually, I was going down all the teams, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know that guy, I know that guy. I don't know 6 of these dudes though. Like, so they're blooding a bunch of prospects and getting them ready for, possible selection in a couple of months. And so, yeah, this is going to be very interesting to see who's going strong there. Empress Children topping things out is a little surprising to me. Not shocked, not like super shocked. But
the Winged Dinging Princes and some of the things they can do are just, I mean, they're just hard to play into.
It's hard to play into with confidence. And the only people that can play into confidence are their counters. And this is 8-player teams. You should be able to dodge a couple of your worst counters. So if you can, Empress Children is terrifying because Empress Children does not get like small wins. It's like almost impossible for it to get small wins. In fact, one of the criticisms of Empress Children is that they either get bodied or body. They like 15 plus or 5 or less is the score range on the differential you can expect from your Empress Children player. And that's pretty much just up to the pairings person to use them correctly because they are like they're not like a spanner with an adjustable, size.
That's a wrench really for the folks in the rest of the world.
It's a wrench. Yeah, they're not an adjustable wrench. They're like literally, this is the size of the tool and this is what it does. You cannot make us do anything else. And either we're going to do it really well or we're not. And so this is showing a lot of confidence either in their players or in their pairings matrix, which is quite good. Astartes at 10 at Astra Militarum. In my opinion, they're the 2 best armies in the game. I'm shocked there's not more, to be honest. Like I'm shocked the breakdown actually had anything apart from like Adeptus Astartes and Blood Angels. Those are the only 2 that I would have expected to see here. We only have singles for Space Wolves and Dark Angels, so it's not like this is wildly differentiating. It's 10 versus 5 other Astartes variants. But is there anything else here, boys, that's jumping out to you guys?
Jumping out? No, I don't think so. I think this actually makes a lot of sense what has been added to the game recently and what the best teams are bringing, especially if you're talking about prospects, because there's going to be a couple things here that they're testing. It's not going to be like, this is the list we're taking.
There's 7 orcs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the two ones that I see as the big testing ones to see if they're fit for purpose, Orcs and Custodians are the 2 lists that I'm seeing that a lot of people are kind of milling around trying to see if they're good enough, because of course this is 8-player teams. You're always going to have your guard, you're always going to have your aggressive couple of builds. In this case Empress Children is being taken very heavily. You're always going to have your techie Eldari super faction player who's going to play Spite or Serpent's Brood or some special Eldari nonsense, but then you get down to like your 6th, 7th, 8th pick, and you need to find some juice in those B+ tier factions that can actually add some X factor. And man, a lot of people are talking about Custodians at the moment. And you want to know what they're talking about in Custodians wise?
Guard?
6 units of Custody Guard.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Just Custody Guard. Do not lose me this game in teams. This is what they're talking about. I'm going to brick wall you, shield host you, and even though it's not always that detachment. So yeah, and there's one of the lists being taken by Team France. Now, whenever Team France is represented at an event, I'm going to cover what Team France is doing. They are the reigning defending 2-time back-to-back world champions of the WTC. It has not been done in the modern era of the game. Germany did it in the mid-2000s. It has not been done since. They won last year and they won the year before. Absolutely ridiculous that they were able to do that with all the pressure and all the targets on them. So I'm always going to see what they're doing, and you guys are going to see as well, because I can't wait to see who beats France, because essentially you're made. It's like becoming a made man in the mob, knocking off France at this point. They are that high on the pedestal.
All right.
And, that via the community. The community has put them on there and via their own results. But let's break down their 8-pack. We have Death Guard Villain Vectorum, Eldari Serpent's Brood, Berserker Warband World Eaters, no surprise there. Demonic Incursion of Demons, so not scintillating, Demonic Incursion. The Custodian Shield Host that I mentioned previously, and that is the one I mentioned. Then a Liberator Assault Group of Blood Angels, so not going for Rage. That is Olivier, not going for Rage Cursed. And then Bringers of Flame, Adeptus Sororitas, and a Grand Coven of Thousand Suns. what I find really interesting here is that essentially is that 6 out of 8 are playing index detachments. It is. Vectorum, Berserker Warband, Demonic Incursion, Shield Host, Liberator, and Grand Coven.
Well, let me back into that a little bit, because in 8-player teams, you don't find the take all comers list do the best, because you are trying to kind of outmaneuver and outpair and out things like that.
Yeah.
Is different from a 5-player teams. But the index detachments have more broader take all comers rules. So maybe you're taking the tech choice while getting the detachment rule that puts you more equal footing with everything you've got.
Yes. The other way to think of it, and I'm going to say this out loud. I'm not going to put this aspersion on them, is if you think you have the best 8 players in the room, you do this. You take as many all-comers lists as you can, and you put your players in, expecting them to outplay the differentials in tech pieces and SKU lists. Despite that isn't what they've really done, because of course the Berserker Warband isn't really an all-comers list. It's like, me and my 40 Berserkers, we're just going to kind of run you over.
And you deal with it. Yeah.
Stop me if you can. Same for the Serpent's Brood. The Serpent's Brood is like a beautiful tech piece. It's like Drakari with different tech stuff and much better anti-tank, but also can just run you over if you let it. Same as the Liberator Assault Group. The Shield Host will do it a little bit slower. Probably does it on turn 3 or turn 4. But if you don't kill enough Custodian Guard, 25 of them might be on your objective on turn 4. And what are you going to do about it? The Bringers of Flame here is the interesting one. So Bringers of Flame is coming back into vogue. And the sisters lists at this event are all either Champions of Faith, which is, of course, the Sacrosanct build, or Bringers of Flame. There's no Hallowed Martyrs, which I found quite interesting, because I think Hallowed Martyrs is quite good. But it might be that they've identified it's a little bit better in teams, in singles than it is in teams, and that just not dying and then just killing people harder is a little better. Grand Coven's an interesting one as well, because I'm assuming because they took demons. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you can take demons and then also take demons again in your Thousand Suns list, Emperor's Children's list, Death Guard list,
because they're in the codex.
Because they're a listed data sheet in that codex.
They're not demons at that point. They're just Thousand Suns.
Correct.
That happen to be demons.
So I wonder. Yeah, there's also a thing here that happens at these events. We call it psyops. I don't know if you know what this is, where you deliberately try and mislead your opponents. And so I would not be surprised if there's a lot of players here that aren't taking the absolute best thing that they have. Like, they're like, cool, I've still got 3 or 4 months until I need to lock in on what I'm actually playing for WTC. So I'm going to take something that looks a little bit more generalist while I hold back my spice. It's also a thing.
Yeah, as you conceal what you're really going to take. You're just going to go through the motions of playing out some strategies.
I am here to play 5 reps against international quality opponents, but I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to throw the baby out of the bathwater and let them see everything that I'm brewing.
Yeah.
Which is
every
also
single Tyranid player is playing Subterranean. Every single one.
They all 4, and they all have a zone. They all have at least 1 zone threat unit. One crazy man has 2. I really like the German NID list. I'm a big fan of the German NID list. In fact, you want to unpack that? I can pull that up for you in one moment.
I could probably do. Oh wait, I got it. All right,
you got it.
I got it.
Tell us a story, mate.
All right, Patrick Schmidt. It is Subterranean Assault, like you were saying. So we got 3 Hyper Adapted Raveners. Yeah, this seems to be Neuro Tyrant, Swarm Lord, Trigon with the Trigon Prime upgrade, because why wouldn't you? Biovore, Lictor, Neurogaunts, the min squad of them, 1 Neurolictor, 2x5 Raveners, 2 Screamer Killers, 3 Von Ryan's Leapers for some infiltrate to get out of my face, and 6 Zoanthropes. So it has a lot of versatility with the Raveners and the Hyper Adapted Raveners, which I really like those. Yeah. The Screamer Killers are actually the interesting thing that actually really comes into play when you have Zoanthropes, because they can start triggering mortal wounds multiple times in the shooting phase.
So here's my questions for you, mate. So a lot of the criticism of Subterranean Assault is that a savvy opponent can really mess with the tunnels, especially on denser boards. To my eye, this looks like a Tyranid list built to play on denser boards. There isn't a shooting piece worth its salt in the entire list outside the Zoes. He's got 1 good shooting piece. Everything else is just melee. People assume and have said to me, Subterranean is bad on heavy tables. Why is this list a thing then?
Well, the way that they're going into it now is you see the number. Well, you don't see it, but the number of Raveners that are in here are really going to make a difference with that. Both where they make the tunnels, their mobility, because they don't care about the walls. They actually can combine to make really, really nasty anti-melee threats if they want to, if you need to combine them together, or just keep them as MSU. The ability to just go up and down heroic for free. They're actually very big in this list. The Screamer Killers can themselves screen out a lot. Plus Swarmlord for the Vector, just to have if you want to start screening stuff, he's out in front making a costume war. Like anything out there, the Swarmlord is becoming a pretty big piece in a lot of the Tyranid lists, especially Subterranean Assault, specifically to be forward and be that piece. Like, all right, you want to screen me? Cool, go ahead. You have to be near this guy then.
Nice. Well, dude, yeah, nicely unpacked. Let's time to pick some winners. So Paul went first last time. Dustin goes first this time.
This is the hard one because it's. I'm going to steal it away. I'm going to take Blood Angels.
Ooh, dirty.
It's a dagger. Oh, we had such a little. I was all friends last.
You started the year and I just ruined it.
I'm going Empress Children. What would you like, Paul?
That's a good choice. What I want in this case? I'm gonna go with Astra Militarum.
That's a good choice too.
That's a good choice. Yep.
All right.
I feel like unfortunately the Astra Militarum will be a lot put out first.
Yes. Yeah. And so generally that means what it gives out is something that's prepared for it. Like, so it's going to pick a light table. Cool. So it's going to hopefully fight things that still get points on light tables is what you're saying there.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Yeah. All right. We all picked?
Yeah, we are. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
We thought you froze for a second.
I was stunned. I'm still reeling from what Dustin did.
Yeah. Just take that dagger out. You'll be fine.
Next event we're going to be covering is the Las Vegas teams. This is from Las Vegas, Nevada. Love it when they make it that easy for us. 256 players and 54 teams of 5 competing over 5 rounds. What's going to happen? What are we going to see?
In the Imperial Super Faction, there are 5 Sisters of Battle, 9 Custodes, 8 Admech, 26 Astra Militarum, 7 Grey Knights, 7 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 27 Adept Astartes, 6 Dark Angels, 4 Space Wolves, 3 Blood Angels, and 3 Black Templar. Chaos, there's 13 Chaos Space Marines, 7 T-Suns, 12 Death Guard, 19 World Eaters, 10 Emperor's Children, 17 Demons, and 8 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 11 Necrons, 10 Orcs, 12 Tau, and 10 Votan. Highbind, there's 10 Tyranids and 6 GC they're called. Eldari, there's 7 Drukari and 8 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is Astartes. Technically, total Astartes at 43, but Astartes still topping it off with 27. Then Astra Militarum right on their heels with 26. Then a big drop to World Eaters at 19. Then Demons at 17. And then another drop at Chaos Space Marines at 13. However, there's a lot of good representation on all the factions here. So, there might be a drop there, but even with, what's big when G's are called, they're at 6. As one of the lowest.
Well, I want to point out the big winner is that so far the 3 biggest events of the week, one being the biggest singles event and then 2 of the bigger team events, all 3 have had demons in their podium. All 3.
Yeah, that's right.
So demons going straight from middling, pretty good but not that good, to dang, we need to, we're in a teams environment, we need to take this, or people just wanting to play it enough that it's one of the top played factions at a 350 plus player event, singles event. So yeah, demons definitely one of the stories of this weekend. Astra Militarum, Adept Astartes, yeah, whatever. Yeah. World Eaters, kind of whatever. Really happy to see Chaos Space Marines getting some decent representation here, though.
Look,
really happy.
Now that we talked about all the stats, I want to know what happened to Admech.
Not enough balance-wise in MFM. Every person I have talked to still considers Admech to be one of the top 3, if not top 4, top 5 armies in the game. But the representation has completely fallen off. And I got to ask why as well, Paul, because they're fantastic. They are mind-bendingly good.
It's a hobby-intensive army to collect. And so maybe if you started at the end of, the World Champs, you might just be getting done. Maybe it's another couple of weeks before we see that bubble, but it is very strong. And in these team events, sometimes you play a lot of borrow stuff to
Mm.
get your stuff on the table. So anyway, I just want to point out, I think it's a notable exception from the couple of events that we've
It is. So 355 players in Nottingham, only 2 Adeptus Astartes, 2 Mechanicus. At Nations Cup, 4 out of 128. And then over here, we have 256 players and 8. So we have the most of this one with 8 teams taking them. But still, like, for one of the best armies in the game, like, it is just not getting representation.
It's very possible that Astra Militarum just jumped right back into that slot.
Yes, indeed.
The role that it plays, maybe that's the culprit there.
And we all know there's a lot more treadheads out there than binaries. Yeah. I have identified 5 teams that I think have a very good chance of winning this. If you want to hit the next slide, Dustin. These are the 5 teams that I've looked at and I think have an extremely good chance. If not, I would not be surprised if the podium is made up of 3 of these 5 teams. There are probably 10 to 12 teams that could legitimately win this. These are the ones I've picked. Yes, a lot of them have my mates on them. Yeah.
It's kind of hard not to do in this Warhammer.
Yeah, it really is.
Giant tournament community, but well, we know a lot of folks.
But between you two and the chat, pick me a team and I'll unpack it for you.
All right, chat. Which one of these do you want to unpack?
Zugwang.
Yeah, Zugwang. Yeah. I mean, you said that so funny wise. It's going to be hard to.
Who's on that? Okay.
So that is Alex Pina. That is Celeste Lork. Durante Bozzini, who's one of the best tower players in the world. Floof Cox, just an incredible player as well. And then Isaac Terada from the Xenos Petting Zoo. That is Thousand Suns, Adeptus Astartes, Tau, Admech, and Astra Militarum. So they are playing the guns.
Floof's playing Admech now? Quitter.
I know.
No, we're not unpacking that one. No.
No. It got vected. Apologies.
Vected. How dare you, sir?
Apologies, Zugwang.
What?
It is a fun word to say, isn't it?
It's just actually,
fun
I love
to
that
say.
name.
Like, yeah. What's this AOW stuff? It's not no Zugwang.
You're abbreviating the name.
Yeah.
Zero.
That's my team as well. Zero Comp are the old war horses themselves.
I mean, we're kind of like the old war horses of commentators, right? So
United Wargamer says, how we doing? Doing all right. Thanks for trying to jump in the chat.
So that is, this is some names. These are some hallowed antiquity names. We got Frankie Giampapa, Junior Fleehey, Mark Simmerane, Phil Stinnett, and Reese freaking Robbins himself. So this consists of.
You weren't kidding.
Yeah, man. These are some of the old war horses. I love it. So Frankie's playing Halo Screed Admech. Nice, good list. I've got Junior is of course playing Votan is playing Needguard, Oathband. We have Mark there playing Berserker Warband, World Eaters. Then we have Phil who's playing Ultramarines Gladius. No surprises there. And then of course Reese is on Grizzled Company at Astra Militarum. Any of those very interesting boys, and I'll break it down in detail.
I'm curious to see what the Leagues of Votan is.
Yeah, so that's Junior Fleehey, who is probably like top 3 Votan players in the world. He's playing as Needguard. He's got a Menmir strategist with the Oathbound Speculator. He's got Uthar, of course. I love seeing Uthar. 2 Capricious Carriers. 3 Thunderkin, all with Grav. 1 unit of Earthshakers. That's cool. The Chthonian Earthshakers. And then he has a unit of, 2 units of 5, 3 units of 5 Hearthguard, 3 units of 5 Termies, and then a double Hecaton, 2 units of Jaegers, and then was 1 unit of 6 Steeljacks with shooting and 1 unit of 6 Steeljacks with melee. So he's gone quite thick. Everything, pretty much everything here, apart from literally everything outside the Jaegers is multi-wound here. Interesting little skew there. I like it. He's got the 2 big tanks, and he's got the 2 little tanks in the Capricious and the Hecatons. He's got the 3 units of anti-tank little pocket pieces in the Thunderkin that can also strip cover as well. I'm interested what the Earthshaker idea is. Just having 1 unit of Earthshakers.
I could tell you that our Votan players actually started taking Earthshakers too. They added something to the list that I feel like the Votan were missing. And it's odd, even just like, because they are out of line of sight. They do have that opportunity, which they can still hit on 4s, even though they're supposed to hit on 5s, but they have so many ways to get moved hit. They're actually pretty effective because they are their blast, and if they see something, they're going to hit on 2s almost. It's crazy. But they have a really good horde clear that's safe. That's something that
That's pretty good.
that Votann don't have. Like the best
Mm.
one they had for horde clearing really was their Terminators, right? That was the
Yeah,
best.
the Hearth
They would clear any chop, but they have to be right in their face to do it.
Yeah, and 270
And they're
points.
so expensive, exactly.
Yeah, with 270 points without a character.
Yeah,
You're looking at
110
most
points to
likely.
clear chaff at a safe distance for Votann. I think it's actually a big deal, especially when you're bringing some of the close combat pieces when you have like the what they call the steel jacks with the melee weapons down there, and it opens the way so your the fortresses can actually go forward and not get move blocked as long because they can't throw these things up there and just keep them there forever because you don't have to throw something expensive to clear chaff, which is, like I said, very important for Votann, I think. So I think that's a really good ad.
Oh, what is interesting is that the first one we looked at, Zugzwang, they also had both Admech and Guard in their list. And so it's interesting to see another team doing the same thing. Both Admech and Guard in the same lineup.
Forcing their opponents to have two answers. It's not bad.
Beautiful. All right, time to pick some winners, lads, for our last event.
Of course, I know we didn't put this caveat in here, but we pick not the team that's going to win, but we pick the faction we think is going to get the most battle points, which is sometimes not on the team that is doing the best there.
That's correct.
At the team event.
I believe it is my turn to pick first. I am going to go with World Eaters.
Ooh, that is spicy.
So it's a very interesting terrain format and mission lineup here, where you will play different missions in the same pairing, and different terrain formats and different missions in the same pairing. And I'm of the opinion, I don't really know how it works. But if you get the better of it,
that's how the ATC did it this past year. I mean, it's
the same format. Yeah. So I'm of the opinion there are some armies like World Eaters that if they get a little bit more decision making, like we've got a bit of pairings going our way, and I can make the mission go my way a little bit, they just green light themselves into big wins, and so that's what I'm betting on.
It's a neat format, by the way, because you get to you pick the table. And then one of two missions, either one or the other on the thing. And so how it all matches up, maybe if you're outlisted, you get a better mission format for yourself, feels like you can get those engagements like you're talking about.
So Paul, you're picking second.
Oh, I'm stalling a little bit
now.
I will tell you, boys, I'm definitely picking a player. I'm picking Anthony Vanilla.
He's
playing one of the other war teams. I need to tell you, Paul, Jack Harps is playing Blood Angels.
Yeah.
Event. There's options there. Dustin, you have Tucker if you'd like to pick GSC as well.
He's playing Eldari. I looked.
He
another Twitter.
Dead to me. Dead to me.
I was going to
risk Tucker.
Why? Good GSC players. All right. Wait. Neither of them are playing GSC.
Look, I'm going Admech.
Fair. Yeah, wow. None of my known.
I was looking. So this is my
disgusting.
Chance. I could do it, but I can't.
All right. Admech has been picked. Dusty, what would you like?
Oh, jeez. This is a lot harder now, though. I thought I had it figured out when I saw those names, and then just rug pulled right from under me. You know what? What did you take, Paul?
Adeptus Mechanicus.
I will take Astra Militarum.
Astra Mil. Nice. What's Lennon taking?
Astra Mil.
Damn it, Astra Militarum. What have I done? No, there is infinitely amazing players on so many different stuff, so I'm not too bothered. But that brings us to the end of this portion.
Yeah, it's going to do it a little bit differently this episode because we had a bit of a highly contested contest between us humble announcers here and host at the end of last year, where we're all tied for the same number of months coming into 2025.
Not quite. So going into December,
y'all are all tied.
Yes, going into December, Paul had won 3 months of the year, as in he had picked more winners for 3 months of this year and therefore won that month. So he was on 3 months he'd won. Dustin and I were on 2 months we'd won each, and we ended December on 9 points each to see who wins the month. So,
by the way,
what
yes,
Dustin
we
and
are
I-
aware there are 12 months in the year. There's just a couple of months we didn't get enough. In there.
we laid a couple eggs this year. It's fine. Dustin and I are currently on 9 points each to decide who wins this month. And we decided there's not going to be any draws. There's not going to be any of that nonsense.
That's
So
no point.
we're going to a sudden death round. Paul is going to ask Dustin and I a series of questions, and we're going to answer to the best of our ability. And you can do this however you want, Paul. You can ask it to us both at the same time, or ask it to one of us and then ask another question, or whatever you want to do, to decide who wins December out of Dustin and I. And then next week, whoever loses out of Dustin and I will be asking a series of questions to Paul and the winner to decide who actually won 2025.
So,
Also, Adam, when you get asked your question, hands up. We don't know. No Googling.
I was going to say,
hands
so
up.
here's the rules. No internet searches. So it'll be the first one to answer or the closest to the answer if the first person to answer is not correct.
Turn my head up now.
In the instance of where it's a single answer thing and we need to get closer, then we'll ask a second question.
Anybody coming to this right now just thinks that Paul has taken us hostage.
Yes, right. Yeah. And don't turn around and don't get up till I count to 100. So first question is, who is credited for inventing Warhammer 40,000?
Ooh.
Mr. Citadel.
That's
Nice. Matt Ward.
All right. Nice. All right. Well, so anyway, let's go to this question B where there is no correct answer. We trust you. You don't have to sit there with your hands up.
I'll put them both in my ears.
Oh, closest to in what year did the first edition of Warhammer come out?
Ooh.
So like 83.
81.
87 is the answer.
Whoa.
And so, Adam, you get that one.
Okay, I don't get that one.
I sucked less than you, Dustin.
Yeah. This may be.
I should have done 1983.1.
Yeah. No Price is Right answers here. All right. What title claims the first appearance of Spider-Man?
Oh.
What title? As in what?
What title did he debut in?
Fantastic Four?
Is it like
That's wrong.
Balls.
The title of the comic book that he debuted in?
Yeah.
It wasn't in Spider-Man. He appeared in another comic book beforehand, and I can't remember which one now. I thought it was Fantastic Four.
Avengers.
No, it's Amazing Fantasy is what it is. Here we go. What year did that comic come out?
1967.
68.
You're both wrong, but Dustin is less wrong. It is 1962.
Yeah.
I guessed it was more than that.
It was
I should have guessed it was
definitely
less.
All right. You're tied.
Tied again. I'm sick of this tie with Adam.
This is the tiebreaker. This is the final. This is the final question. No help from chat, although I do want to know if y'all got this right as well. Chapter Master of the Blood Angels, Dante, Commander Dante, as some of us refer to him. What's his first name?
Whoa. I thought it was like Madonna. You just had the one, right? I wasn't saying that was his first name. I was comparing him to somebody else who only had one.
No. We'll take Madonna as your answer.
Well, it's pretty safe because I ain't getting this right. Larry. What is it? I really want to know what it is now.
Let's see if Dustin wants to offer up another.
Lamartie's.
Lamartie's Dante.
So
is that like Luigi Mario and Mario where Lamartie's is Lamartie's and he's Lamartie's Dante?
Maybe. You don't know. I don't know.
I wish that were true now that you've said it out. No, it is Luis.
Oh, I was pretty
close. I got the L correct.
Yeah, you're all around it. All around it.
We both got the L's.
Since that was wrong, we got to go with the closest to. Closest to how old is Luis Dante thought to be.
Is it Luis or Louis? Like, is it French or is it Luis?
Good question.
Yeah. It's
So
not
it could be
Lewis.
Louis.
It's not
It's not
Lewis.
Louis, yeah. It's definitely not Lewis. How old is he?
How old is he thought to be?
I mean, it's true.
Wait,
It's
what
real.
year are we thinking of? Like just
As in present
in
day
present
Warhammer.
day Warhammer.
I'm
how
trying to
old?
figure out if he's over or under 1,000.
You got to remember we had a little bit of a time jump recently in the story. You know, it was-
And who wants to? Who out of me and Dustin wants to take the first punt and let the other one undercut them?
Yeah.
I will be courageous and I will take the first punt. I'm going with 13. I'm going with 1,350 years.
I don't want to be that guy, so I'll go with 1,700.
So it is 1,300. What was your answer, Adam?
1,350 is what I said.
1,350 is closer. He's thought to be 1,500 years old.
Oh,
He has been chapter master of the Blood Angels for over 1,100 years.
So you went 17. I was 150.
You're closer by
off, you were
50
200
years.
off.
I was too nice to you, Adam. I was too nice to you.
Yeah.
You were. You should have cut me by one. You would have won.
But it's okay. I like asking the questions.
How
later
respectful! Anyway. How respectful! Yeah, you're back in your usual role.
That's right.
So, Adam, you take this one, and now you have the honor of facing me.
The championship round, and now I get against the questions.
Whatever Dustin cooks.
That'll be next week.
He's going to be like, how many arms come in the acolyte box?
Well, you took away one of my questions now. That's not fair.
You just do the neophyte boxes.
Oh, folks, thank y'all for tuning in. Please, we didn't ask for this just yet, but I invite you to please hit the subscribe button if you have not already. Please give us those 5-star reviews wherever you listen to us. We need those algorithms to kind of like launch us, propel us into 2026. If you are so inclined to do so, or if you like what you heard, if you made it this far, please do that. Some interaction would be a beautiful thing for us, and we really appreciate seeing that. Of course, love seeing some folks in chat that we've not seen before. Folks stayed up late. Folks are getting up early all over the world as we bring you the biggest and best events happening for Warhammer 40,000 in the universe. That is our show for tonight. We will be back. Well, actually, next week, we might not be back because Adam and I will be talking about some Warhammer 40,000 from Palm Springs, California.
Right.
So catch us over there if you would like to see some tournament action from on the Games Workshop Twitch and YouTube channels. We'd love to see you over there. But the week after that, maybe we'll get a part 2 of the show for the Patreon tier 2 and subscribers in between there and there. But check us out the week after back here. Set your clocks. It's been a pleasure. Happy New Year.
Beautiful. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We'll see y'all.
Have a good night, everybody.